Welcome back, everybody, for what will not be the final time we're here to do an episode discussion for Attack on Titan, but it will be the final time we do it for Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2. We will be back with Season 4 Part 3. Yes, they did it. Fuck me. No movies for us. What a shame. But anyway, to give their thoughts, because we don't just make them introduce themselves first, to give his thoughts first, we're going to shoot over to Jarkey Bacon.
Oh yeah. I'm Jarkey Bacon. Woo! That's me. Yeah. So the episode I really liked it actually. I thought it was really good. I would be very, very angry if I was an anime only because I'd have to wait more time for the next episode because this one definitely got me very hyped. And I think there's a lot of scenes that weren't. I was like, "Hang on, wait, that was in the manga." I think it also helped clarify a few things and put emphasis on a few things that will help overall the ending that we got in the manga. So I think keeping this chapter and delaying it so far and like putting it together was really good. So yeah.
And we are also joined by... We'll get into Bacon there because he said some disgusting things I just heard. But we'll hand over to Mr. Reicha7, who is also here.
Hello, yes, I am Reicha7, soon to be rebranding just for YouTube anime discussions. But we'll
Exciting
deal with
stuff.
that later. Yes, I'm a bit mixed on this episode actually. There were definitely
Mr. Positive being brought down.
really well. There were bits that I thought were done really well. And then there were some bits that I felt looked a little cheap, especially towards the end of the episode. Like, you could tell that they were clearly trying to cram everything they could in because they had to cram nearly 2 chapters into it. And they've been doing 1 chapter an episode up to this point. So I'm sure we'll go into more detail. But yeah,
yes.
It was decent. And also I was a bit unhappy about the final line. Maybe it was a translation thing, but I've not seen any translations that differ from it, from either Crunchyroll, Funimation, or inevitably when I've watched reactions of people who are using pirated streams to watch it.
Well, I am currently on a pirated stream, and I actually don't know what line you're talking about. So, and I'm not sure about the differences. I don't remember the dude getting incinerated, but that might have been there. But every time we come into here, I find out about certain differences, whether it's one of you telling me or we just scroll through the pages here. In terms of me, myself, I feel like I liked the episode. I think it was clever structurally. I would have preferred... It was kind of impossible with how they laid out the season to do this back when it was supposed to happen in the manga. I do think I would have preferred it that way. But the way they decided to do it structurally in this episode, to basically have it start with a cold open of Mikasa having a sort of internal monologue about when did this all start or when did it all go wrong, and then to have the mid-credits thing and then have Eren start up and do it. I thought that was really clever. Clever way of doing it this way if you were going to do it this way. Other than that, I feel like I'm just about as positive as I usually am on this episode. I'm interested to see what Mr. R is going to say. But I guess, do we want to talk about anything off the bat, anything that jumps out, or do we want to go chronologically? I guess this is our free-for-all section.
I mean, I can get into some of my specific grievances.
Tell me the line. I'm curious.
The line in question was
is it at the end of 130? Is this where?
Yeah, where it didn't specifically say. It wasn't like the same line that was used at the beginning. It wasn't about destroying every last one of those animals.
I did notice that too, but I thought again, I was like, translation question mark? But yeah.
No, the official translation is like, I'm going to destroy them, every last one of them, until there's none left, or something like that. And it's like, no, that line, it just did not have the impact that every last one of those animals that's on this earth line had.
Because it's the callback. They even showed the pages that call back to it. But yeah, they did. Mm-hmm. I guess they did oddly change it. That was weird. Okay, yeah, I am on board. I do remember that. Okay. I guess we will talk about that more when we go through chronologically. But okay. Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you were watching on a pirate stream, did your official translation say it's the attacking Titan?
I don't think so, but my brain might have just auto-corrected it, so I read Attack Titan.
Yeah, some of the when I was looking at some of the reaction vids and like the reaction mashups, whatever stream they were getting their info from, they called it the attacking Titan. It's
Yeah.
like, come on, guy, come on.
The it's funny because it kind of that moment is kind of weird. Like, I don't know why they say the attack Titan when they just say it's Eren, because they all know who he is because of the Willy Tiber speech.
Yeah.
But why do they know it's the attack Titan? It's a little bit of a weird moment, but
Like,
obviously.
Yeah,
that's a
I mean,
manga
do they
thing
even
too.
know it's? Do they even know that he is the attack Titan?
Wouldn't it be like?
Like Willy Tiber's.
Yeah. I think he does say that he has the founder. I don't even know if he says he has the attack Titan. He might say he has 2 Titans or something to scare everybody. But it is an odd moment at the end.
I think it's so that they can drop the title of the manga.
Yes, that is the reason. But I guess both part 2s ended on moments where they say Shingeki no Kyojin to be really cool. Title drops are cool. I do like it. But,
it actually did the meme where they dropped the name. You know, it's like you see all those meme panels of like, oh, I'm gonna go berserk.
Yeah,
or,
that's actually
I'm gonna do a.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like, you know,
we're on a Vinland Saga.
Maybe it's because it's been memed to death or something. But if those guys had said it's him, it's Eren Yeager.
Yeah.
Then
True.
Like the meme would still work. The meme would still exist.
That meme is a CinemaSins meme, right? Or is that just the first place I saw it? Because they used to always say title drop and they'd give it a sin.
They'd always say roll credits, and give it a sin.
Oh,
but
yeah.
actually but then that I mean, that's been sort of bastardized into dozens of memes.
Yeah.
I think at this point.
You're saying all memes are the same?
I think it came about because Tokyo Revenger actually did it, and everybody was like, "Ooh, cringe!" All the manga users were like, "Ooh, cringe! I'm gonna go Tokyo Revenger," and then they made loads of other ones making fun of that. I think that's what happens. But I actually don't know, because maybe Tokyo Revenger was also in the memes, but I remember everybody crying about one.
That might have
there was definitely
repopularized
a point where out of nowhere a bunch of anime communities were dropping that exact meme of name dropping the title.
And it is funny because I don't know
Vinland Saga.
I don't know if Bacon, I assume he hasn't started rereading Berserk, but at the end of Berserk Chapter 1, Puck does look back and say Berserk. It's something that people never bring up, and I'm pretty sure when I was on my 3rd reread and I saw it, I was like, I don't remember this from my first 2 rereads, but Puck looks back at the carnage of Guts walking away from the snake dude, and he's like, and he does say Berserk. It is kind of funny. Sometimes I think, I don't know, it's like anything. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be bad. Like when the better one in Berserk, just quickly, is the Berserker armor. Obviously, that's a cool title drop reference, cooler than Puck at the thing. But go ahead, Bacon.
I guess I know the first section of this podcast that I'm going to trim when it comes to making cuts. So I'm going to try and edit this one down a bit.
Yeah. Well, another thing we can edit down is this. What I'm going to say. So I went into Waterstones and I saw the big Berserk, deluxe editions.
Oh, okay.
They're like 40 quid.
I see.
They're
That's
like
a shop.
30 quid on Amazon.
Bookshop?
So in the bookshop. Yeah. So Waterstones. Sorry, my bad. No, everybody.
International audience,
same
Bacon.
British bookstore. Yeah. My bad. Anyway, so I was thinking, you know what? I'm never going to buy a physical volume of Berserk if I'm not going to reread it. And these are big pages, so the art should look really nice on them. But then again, Berserk has a lot of books to buy, so and that's a lot of money. So if I start, I don't think I'll stop. And
if you want Bacon, I can give you a link to a bookshop I use that isn't Waterstones and isn't Amazon, but still charges 30 quid. So it's much better.
Oh yes, please do.
If not Bacon,
but then
I got a link
realized the
for
first
you.
book was. Yeah, well, no. The thing is, last time I did actually, so I would have actually borrowed my mate. So my mate does have all the small little volumes, and so I read the whole Golden Age with those. Yeah, they're really quite nice. I actually bought him the final version thing for his birthday, and then it turned out he already had it. So I was like, oh, well, I'll keep that book. So I just have one singular volume of Berserk.
Is it the last one that's really small?
No, actually, it's 39, so it's the penultimate one.
Oh, okay, it's
I
not
think.
40.
Or maybe it's the penultimate. I can't remember. Anyway, Attack on Titan.
Yay! Let's talk about it.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the Attack Titan. Mr. What else do you have complaints about? So you said stuff looked bad. I think I know what you're talking about, but
I feel like there was
like,
one
some of the
shot
stuff
that I
looked-
thought was bad with the Colossals, but I assume that's where we're going. But the rest of it looked pretty good.
I mean, I thought like when all the shots sort of hit the water and then they're being broken apart, I thought that looked a bit jank.
It is the
if I'm being
blood.
honest.
Hey, like I feel like recently it might be a Mappa issue generally because I feel like I remember this in season 4, part 1. The blood sometimes looking a bit cheap. I guess I see that, but is that what you were talking about, or more specifically them like falling apart? I don't remember them
I
getting.
think it was just like well, they don't. That's the thing. In the manga, it looks like the weapons are completely ineffective.
Yeah.
We don't see a single colossal titan go down. But in the anime, there we were getting tons of them being broken apart, and then there was that moment of did we beat them, and then they just keep coming. So there was that. Also, I thought their swim speed looked really fucking weird. How quickly they went through the water, considering how slow they appear to move on land. It was just this really weird juxtaposition that they look like they're swimming super fast. Which I
God,
guess
I'm looking at
they
these
probably
pages.
would.
They're so fucking cool. You are right.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like the manga just looks amazing for this entire section. Whilst
God.
the anime,
The
I
shot
just think the
underwater.
budgetary-
There's so much movement. God, look at these fucking thighs. These big toes moving. We definitely didn't get a
Yeah.
shot like that.
I will say I actually never ever clocked that they were swimming. And so when I saw these big guys swimming like little speed boats, I was like, oh my! I was like, so that's like that almost was better because then after that I was still getting over that they were swimming. I just couldn't
Yeah.
I just thought it was so funny, just in concept. And then I was like, oh, of course, Isayama also had them swimming. And then even with the rest of the janky looking stuff, I was
Yeah.
like, well, nothing can look as bad as these guys swimming conceptually. Why didn't they just march across the bottom of the water like the guys from Pirates of the Caribbean 1?
Yeah,
Man,
that would have been cool.
Isayama, that was a bad decision. But now looking back at these panels, I mean, the panels look great. So
the panels look amazing. That's part of the problem. The panels look great, and the anime just didn't, unfortunately.
There are
There was
parts
also
of...
a shot right at the.
No, go ahead, Mr.
I was gonna say there was a shot right at the very end as well, where it's like the wide shot of everything, and I felt like they tried too hard to put too many colossal titans on. Like it worked in the manga because they were so obscured by all the steam, but in the anime, you can just see hundreds of like these little characters repeating the same 3 animations between them.
yeah, I felt like my
insane.
video game was lacking as it was trying
Yeah,
to
it just
render
didn't.
all
Again,
the
it
all the
didn't look
instances.
great, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Like I'm kind of concerned for part 3, although I'm sure we'll get into that. Like if they have to do lots of wide shots of the rumbling, like with lots and lots of titans, that it'll look a bit jank.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I didn't think they looked too bad, but I think the fact that they didn't have enough steam. If they added steam or something, maybe they'll fix on the Blu-rays. I don't know, but I actually thought the most jank looking thing was Eren's Titan itself. I was like, oh, this looks like.
It
You know,
didn't look
it-
as intimidating as it did in the manga. The manga,
Yeah.
it looked fucking horrifying when you first saw it.
Particularly with the face, I was like, when you get to the face, I would expect that you draw it and not use a 3D model, just because like 3D model, no matter how you do it, even when they've looked their best, they always look like a 3D model with a bit of Play-Doh. You can't really replicate, and Mappa's style works so well for this kind of gritty feel, and I feel like that's exactly what Eren's Titan looks like, you know. So
Miller's made a good point. Music really carried the scene. It did.
the music was fantastic in this episode. I want to say that flat out. Like the
I do
remix
remember it.
of the where they're all drinking.
Yeah, that was cute.
That was so that one that's like an
Yeah.
instant playlist. You will be hearing that in the back of Jarkey Bacon videos for years to come. You know, I'm downloading that one real quick. You know, yeah, I thought that was really good. Yeah,
Guess
so
We're just jumping to this. In the manga, especially the hand movement here, they try to do this because they try to make him have his hand movement be silent. There's so much like kinetic energy. I feel like I'm saying that every week. Maybe it's a cheap video title. Attack on Titan, how it does kinetic energy. But I feel like there's so much movement in these pages.
that's like a super eye patch wolf.
Yeah.
Point.
The one shot that I did think was really good in the episode was when they had all the ship cannons fire up into the air and then they came down.
Yes.
I thought that was cute. Overall, I
I
didn't
thought-
think the Titans looked as bad. I think as both of you. I did like when the Eren's Titan showed up. I just thought it looked it was looking okay. I didn't really notice anything bad.
Yeah.
Mostly
Ultimately,
same
I
with the
thought it looked
Colossals,
okay.
but maybe I'm just more lenient with CGI. I'm not sure.
I mean, I have like my problem is when I think the CGI is generally fine. It's just I think when it looks bad, it looks really bad. Like I'm gonna go back to Zeke in the forest when his fight against Levi. I was kind of taken out of that what was meant to be a really cool fight because Zeke's Titan looked like a fucking PlayStation
Oh,
character.
I've just gotten a flashback of me complaining about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I did think the shot of so he has the silent fire, and then the impact of it was really fantastic, and they just shows like quick flashes of and quick like changes in camera of all the things flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I think about it, they were swimming really quickly, like for Colossal Titans.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because like Colossal Titans don't weigh that much. Like for their size, they don't weigh as much. So maybe they
The normies didn't indeed say
sort of,
that. I will point out, but yeah, they said
they have huge
light.
feet, so they would be able to swim quickly. But yeah, it just feels like this weird thing considering they always look like they're really slow when they're walking.
I feel like just doing it in motion was always going to make it look a little weird. I feel like the single panels here like really carry it, which is I guess a bonus for the manga. Like every other shot.
Isayama making.
Go ahead.
I was Isayama making great use of his
medium.
Of the medium. Great use to the limitations of the medium to convey a lot of motion, and your brain kind of just fills in and makes it work. But when you're actually trying to make it work in animation, it's just not quite there.
Yeah, because how I imagined it was, so I'll go back to Pirates of the Caribbean, but when they are walking under the ship, and you can see them go in and out of the moonlight, and you can see how they change from their real forms to their skeleton forms.
Such a good fucking shot.
It's such a good shot, but I just imagine that's what the Colossal Titans are doing, because they're heavy enough to be on the bottom of the sea, because they're the Colossal Titans. I understand that they may be like less dense because they're steam and all this stuff, but like it just gives this menacing feel, while here they're almost like sharks or fishes, and this shot here is very much like a shark shot on the boat. It's about to come up and eat the whole ship kind of feel, but the speed of them kind of gives a different vibe to what generally the Colossal Titans give, where they're just this slow but inevitable force that you can only be scared of, and they'll eventually crush you because they're so big and they walk so slowly, but their stride length is so long. And generally, so I think seeing them swim, it caught me off guard. I mean, I was enjoying it either way. It was just one of those things where I was like, it doesn't look as good as it could be, but hey, that's what the anime is going to be like. So yeah.
The because every other shot of the Titans in the water is like not them swimming. Like there's the silhouette shot here. There is a lot of silhouette shots at the end here. The silhouette shot of them coming through the smoke, I think, is really cool. I don't think they did anything with that. Or did they? Does anybody want to what's the opposite of corroborate?
I'm not sure.
Disprove me?
Yeah, it's weird because their panel of them coming out of the water was is after them being standing tall like that. So anyway, but yeah, I mean when you saw all of them rear their heads out of the water, that was very cool in the anime as well, I thought. So
yeah, I thought they had a close up of one of the bloke's faces. He looked pretty scary, so that was cool.
Oh yeah, they did spend quite a bit of time.
I feel like,
and I think that's because they were able to go hand drawn. That made it feel better, just like more terrifying. Maybe that was the guy that was the wall chunk got kicked off of, so he's from the inner sanctum wall.
Maybe
yeah, maybe this is a little reference.
I feel like they're the shots of the soldiers sort of running away. I feel like they were a little underdone too. There wasn't as much emphasis on that. Is there maybe I'm just making up a double page spread in my brain, or it's not here on the chapter, or it's at the beginning of the next chapter? Let me check real quick. I feel like I remember a double spread of like one bloke in focus in the foreground looking back. Maybe it is this one, and I just remembered it a little bit different. But like, I feel like the shot of them running away, but everything happening in the background, and sort of the acceptance.
That is a double page spread, basically, right?
Yeah.
But it's got error on the side slightly. So
okay, I think the thing I had in my brain doesn't exist, and I just made it up because I remembered him sort of being on the side. But that happens with me a lot. But yeah, I feel like I feel like for the first time of us actually seeing the rumbling in action, it was good enough. There are little areas that could have been done. This shot that they did here of them breaking onto the coast, I think was pretty good in the anime too. But yeah,
There's a lot of camera movement for that one.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I guess I kind of want to go back to the start, like of the devils on that island.
Yeah,
We
we'll
probably should
circle
start
back.
going through chronologically. We've got a lot to cover.
We did the fun
Yeah,
bit.
because well, first things first, I was talking to my mate who is an anime only, and he was really confused. He was like, "Hang on, is Sasha grown up Gabby?" Like, and he was like, "Hang on, wait, why is Eren there? Or like, is it over?" Like, he thought it had skipped forward in time, not gone back in time.
No.
Initially, but like, it took him like 2 minutes to realize that. It was like, "Oh yeah, we're going back in time." But I really like this because, like, for at least me, it kind of compares like where you got Mikasa and then you've got Historia talking to Eren later on, but there's so much focus on Mikasa here, and like, to me, it'll put more emphasis on the kiss, and that in turn made the ending make more sense because now there's more foreshadowing of like Mikasa has to do what she didn't do back then, basically. So that's what
What do
I
you
quite
mean
liked about it.
more
Maybe it's just
foreshadowing? Like just because
just
it's
more
centered at the
emphasis on it.
end, or do you think there was more emphasis?
I think because of the placement of it, it's like the end of the season is closer to the point where it's
I
happening,
guess.
and I think the scene was dragged out a little longer. Maybe that was just the pacing of like manga to anime, but at least for me, like, it made made the foreshadowing of like, oh yeah, Eren and Mikasa are trying to have a thing. Well, them having a thing makes more sense now than, say, Historia and Eren. I know it's kind of
Yeah.
foreshadowed in this, but the amount of time that Historia and Eren talk
They
in
really
this
didn't give that.
is
Yeah.
really short.
I think we
So,
see more of that scene in the next chapter as well. But yes, there definitely was a clear, like, the love interest is Mikasa here, not Historia, you dumb fucks. On the
Yeah.
emphasis
I
point,
also,
I'm kind of glad they're covering that though,
Yeah.
because like
yeah, basically.
There
I also think that it's just like, and also just how Eren's reacting then. So like, he's dead inside in the Mikasa part, but he does want to know. You know, he's asking that question.
it feels like
Um,
he's on the very breaking point, right? He's like, there's a
Yeah.
little bit.
But in the Historia one, he's like far too gone.
Yeah.
And it's like almost there's no like nothing romantic about it in the Historia one. I
Yeah.
feel like it's just, if you wanted to ship them, you could fill in the gaps and that could work. But I think at least like putting them side by side, it's like, yeah, Mikasa's clearly like the main focus.
Yeah.
Which, and then for me at least, then in turn reminds me that like, okay, that makes more sense about, you know, the final chapter then, that
The
like, while the lore behind it may have not been explained and Ymir kind of does like a lot of stuff real quickly, I'm just like, okay, I'll accept it. This one's like, for like Mikasa's character arc and Eren's character arc, it makes more sense.
there's two things
Tangent
on the for the Historia scene. Oh, hold on. Three things just jumped into my brain. I'm going to forget two of them. I wanted to say something about emphasis. They are clearly trying to build up running towards the tree a lot more. Like, there's the shot of Mikasa at the beginning where she's like, oh, what did I ever see in Eren? And then there's sort of the shot of Eren running ahead of her, running towards the tree. I think there was another reference to it later. I know a lot of people feel like the running towards the tree analogy came out of nowhere, so they clearly want to put more emphasis on that.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean maybe that's why they've included it, because did they include it? If they included it in the ED as well, like, is that the big
Yeah.
thing in the
Or
and the opening
It's in the
as
opening,
well has
yeah.
the tree as well.
yeah, them running towards the tree and the good old times.
That's interesting.
It
I know
represents.
maybe it's just me retroactively like not believing, but I never thought the tree came out of nowhere.
That's
I
what
was quite
I was
predominant.
also in that camp, but I know Miller specifically did talk about how like
I thought it was okay purely because like I still had that memory. Like I'd always kept this in the back of my mind of the Eren waking up under the tree and Mikasa going, "Why are you crying?" and all that. Like that scene, no matter what I thought was going to happen, that scene always stuck in my head of this is going to be important. It's going to call back to this at the very end of the manga.
yeah,
Yeah, and well, that's like one of the few scenes we have of them before everything changes in their whole world with
Yeah.
the first
In
attack on
first
Hijinks,
chapter.
like so that's almost like their pure innocent childhood. That's like a representation of them. Though the only thing is that Armin wasn't there, and he is now there. So that if you're like, why is Armin tied to this? Then you have to do a bit of like a linking, I guess, being like, oh, Armin's normally with them, so he would have probably been at that tree and all that stuff. So
Yeah. The fuck, I did completely forget the other things I want. Oh, I wanted to talk about the Historia scene. I guess we're kind of jumping to that, maybe.
Maybe jumping is fine because there's a lot.
it doesn't.
I mean, there is a lot. I think. I feel like maybe it's better to just talk about bits that were of interest rather than trying to chronologically go through
Yeah,
everything.
I'm completely fine
like,
with it. Quickly before I forget, because I will forget my fucking points. There was a point where I was watching it, and I was like, oh, there's no way that doesn't immediately tease that Eren is the father. I was still on that. And the way they actually did it in the anime, I was like, oh, the build-up. Because I knew the last line of that scene was Historia saying, what if I got pregnant? And I feel like the look here in the manga, bedroom eyes a bit, but we'll copium our way out of this. The way they did it in the anime, I was like, because I knew, I think I just said this, I knew like what the last line was going to be with the Historia part here. I was like, how are they going to make this not seem like they're insinuating that Eren is the father? But they did it. It was something in the way the line was delivered, and it wasn't as interspliced as it is in the manga, unless I'm misremembering already. But I feel like we got all of the Historia scene.
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at it now, I was trying to find the panel literally just then. I was like, wait a second, what the fuck's going on? And yeah, it's because the Historia in the anime, it happens at the end of the Historia section, not as one of these intercut memories.
I think all of the memories here are intercut, which I think is kind of cute because it's like Eren's like his
I've just noticed, did we get this in the anime? I'll need to go back and watch. Did we get the little panel of Ramsay being beaten up there?
We did for 1 second. I didn't remember that in the manga, but where is it? Yeah, it is. I remember this shot. I was like, are they teasing that for the first episode of next season? But because that is in the next chapter. But indeed, we did get that
next season. Yeah.
Of next part. I mean, my apologies.
Yeah.
But yes, we did see that.
God,
shot.
we are opening the next season on the rumbling. That's fucking mental.
On young little Ramsay. I wonder if people will remember who he was.
Which is interesting, actually, because it means that we finished this episode basically with meeting Ramsay, and then the start of the next episode
he's getting fucking
which
is, I guess, a weakness.
Maybe that's a good thing, actually.
Maybe feel
because
like
if they showed it all the way back, maybe people would have forgotten about him. Maybe.
I feel like there was less emphasis on like him than there was in the chapter. I kind of got that impression. I feel like it worked. I don't know. I feel like letting it sit for a little while works better, but being in the top of people's mind, it is kind of true. But I guess even if you take from 123 to 131, which is what, 10 months, it'll probably be just a little less of a wait to see Ramsay again for the manga people than it will be for the anime people. But
I feel like the manga people are more active at keeping up and reminding themselves what's happened though. Now maybe this is an unfair thing, but like there's a reason that things usually get dumbed down for television audiences.
Yeah.
As opposed to say book audiences who are expected to just remember the volumes of information that they're given.
Yeah, and they
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that feels like a common trend.
I guess there wasn't a particular cinematography thing that really stood out to me this episode. I did like the flashes they would do, which they did do a lot of the manga flashes that sometimes they cut, where Eren was like, when did this all start? And he flashes to the tree, flashes to the pigs, he flashes to himself being born. And I think we got a lot of these flashes too, which they usually definitely don't do the little ones. But that was really cool. That's just a little thing. I don't really have much else to say about that. But yeah, I thought that was cool. They did have the bird. The bird was flying over things. He was as involved as he was in the manga. Though if we scroll down really quickly to these two shots, the two double pages of the birds, they did cut this. Well, I guess to me, I always thought this was them heading, but it looks like, never mind, they didn't cut this shot. I was thinking this is like them heading to the coast, but it's just them waiting in the bay. Is it a bay? I don't know. I do really like the ink splotches that we do for coming back from like Aaron's weird memory to reality through the bird here. That's a good old page. This Isayama can draw.
Reading chat. Miller saying, going from I can't have a long-term relationship with Mikasa to Historia Athena getting pregnant is definitely an intentional transition.
I do
wonder if there was meant to be more with that storyline.
I don't think so. I actually I was thinking about Historia a lot, and I was thinking about how Historia like has like the perfect ending, and how like she's kept out of it, and that's why she gets the very simple domestic happy ending in the end. I feel like because I even said this, and I was saying this about Gabby a lot more, about how she didn't do anything, and I also don't think I think that anymore. But I was definitely on the Historia, the Isayama forgot about Historia. I think that's kind of reductive and silly. But that today, I was thinking about it while watching today's episode. I want to flesh that thought out, but so I sympathize with what you're about to say.
I mean, for people, I guess Historia's kind of been unfortunately not really involved since like Return to Shiganshina. Since since like the end of the royal government arc, she's not really been that involved. I think it just hurt more because the little things we were given helped the community build up this headcanon that what was going to happen with her.
I mean, have you seen the comparison between anime audiences seeing that she got pregnant compared to basically every manga reader where it's like, oh, she got pregnant, that means this, we're going to serialize who's the father. Like, I haven't seen like anime audience care at all that she's pregnant. Like no one cares about Historia.
In the anime, the next scene is Rogue basically going, oh, she got herself knocked up by some farmer, and the animes are like, oh, okay, and just leave it at that.
It was interesting because I was watching the Normies reaction, as you do, and they thought she was already pregnant in that scene, so they couldn't have even thought that like there was no insinuation there that Eren would have been the father. It's funny
I was trying to figure out if she was pregnant or not, and then I was like, no, she's not.
Yeah, she's not.
Miller says it's because monthly reading rots your brain. I mean, it does rot your brain, actually, because you've got an entire month to come up with theories about what's going to happen.
Yeah, speculation, definitely. Yes. But yeah, on the Historia.
Don't read manga, kids. Just watch anime.
Yes.
It is the superior art form.
or
wait till the manga's entirely finished and then read it in one go.
That's what I was gonna say. I like the speculation though; it's fun.
I will also say I completely forgot that Zeke was like, I think this girl just likes you.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, oh, that's kind of based, man. Zeke, you're kind of smart, bro.
It's funny that he can see it with other people.
Guess what?
But he can't it goes back into the Zeke thing,
actually, the thing is, but then again, Eren has seen every single possible timeline. He's made him Bertolt kill his mother and all this stuff. So who knows what really, whatever. Like maybe such a simple observation is actually incorrect, and Eren's done some fudgery there. Anyway, next scene, when he was cutting off his leg, he looked so animalistic. I loved how he was positioned over that knife.
Yeah, it
looked like he was really like just like his shoulders looked really broad and like hunched over. And
it was a very uncomfortable scene to watch. It was great.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of did the opposite to the manga here, where in the manga it's kind of matter of fact, and that's what's kind of like it's not scary but horrific about it. It's not even that it's a so cool moment. Like I feel like the shot directly of it in the eye rather than in the anime, like him shaking over the eye. I feel like it is. They almost did them in opposite ways, where it was very visceral and grotesque in the anime, whereas in the manga it's sort of just like this is what he has to do, cut, and it is kind of like terrifying that he's willing to do this. I find if you go back to
Miller's linking Ari's hot take on Twitter.
Oh no, Ari's base. This was definitely one of the best episodes. Like, I don't know if I made that clear at the start, but in my opinion, I really enjoyed this one.
Easily
then again,
my favorite
it may just be
episode of the
recency
season.
bias. recency bias because like
like it pretty
I feel like I
much,
come
yeah.
into every one of these discussions and be like, this was my favorite episode. So maybe that's
It was a
just
really
me.
good. It was a good episode. Don't get me wrong. They've all been good. Like, there's been no bad
That
episodes
was just
this
some
season.
funky parts.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were just some.
Now, there was some comments to T Brink. He did like the fast swimming, so the class was uncanny and creepy and make them seem even more hopeless for Marley. So just want to get a wide array of opinions. I disagree for certain reasons, as I probably said, but it's good to see that at least some people liked it because more people liking stuff. That's not a bad thing.
I feel like for me that the whole season has been pretty consistently like the same. Like there is really not a particular episode that stands out exceptionally for me. Every one of them was good. So yeah, I'm not like mad at that take from Ari or anything. I feel like we've kind of covered most of 130. There's the Flock moment, which is cute. The Flock is in on it, and I liked the reaction shot, which is in the manga here. I was just checking, of Flock being like freaked out at how far Aaron's willing to go. That was cute because Flock has been positioned to be the crazy one so far, so it's kind of neat to see him get caught off guard. With Flock here, it's actually interesting because I don't know if it was made evident that Flock was like eavesdropping for Eren on the Yelena conversation, which is kind of what's implied. Or maybe he was just eavesdropping and Eren found out and had to rope him in. That's actually interesting. If
It's never explained, yeah.
If Eren doesn't co-sign on Flock and it was just something he had to do because Flock coincidentally was eavesdropping and maybe he didn't like Flock and therefore he doesn't endorse the Aegis and move on. You could sort of.
I think the one with least assumptions from what we know is that he was listening because Eren asked him to be listening there. Considering how he's positioned, Eren's back is turned towards him, so it's almost like Eren's entered last, and Flock's followed him in there and is listening. That's what I would assume because we haven't been told otherwise. But if you want to have a different spin on it, there's definitely
Yeah, it'd probably be if I actually read the page, it would probably give an indication of something. I forgot what else I was going to say. Do we see the hand kiss at all this episode? I don't think so.
I can't remember if we did, which it was weird because I feel like that's.
I feel like
kind
they
of
did
like
that once before,
sort of
right?
the memory shard.
Where they didn't.
I mean, yeah, they did it during the. They did it during the. Was it during 120? During the 122 episode or the 120? Well, the end of the 121 episode.
I thought I remembered there being a controversial thing about how they cut the kiss before, when it was supposed to be there in one of those earlier episodes. But it was in the Zeke moment where Zeke comes out with the Grisha, comes out of the thing, and he sees Zeke, and we get interspliced with the cuts of.
Well, didn't we think that was controversial, and then we realized it was the next chapter?
Yeah, I remember that too. But I don't remember if they did it the next time. I can't remember, but there was something about a kiss.
Oh wait, no, yeah, there was the big kiss, or yeah, the kiss was sort of interspaced in 121 throughout the Zeke conversation. So yeah, no, that was cut, I think, from the anime.
Yeah. Okay. That's all of 130 really. The only thing we haven't really talked about is the 123 flashback.
Well, that's the thing. Like I was saying, I was saying in Discord, wasn't it? The 130 wouldn't take that long to adapt because it's like 19 pages of just Titans walking towards the shore. I thought they did I thought they did a really good job with like the little flashback, the picture, like the horror on Eren's face. Like one of the big memes I like to think about is like that image is a redraw of like chapter 2, I think, or chapter 1.
Yes.
And it looks really bad in chapter 1 or 2. Like,
oh yeah,
Isayama's art style has come a long way.
Actually, I remember the tweet about this, and I remember getting mad at the tweet because that shot is only a tiny, tiny little panel in the corner of chapter 2.
Yeah, you're right. It is,
and it's blown up. But yeah, fuck. What was I going with that?
I've realized as well that Aaron said when talking to Flock, he said every last one of those animals that's on this earth. It's a running motif that's how he describes it.
Yeah, because he says that in chapter 2 when he's looking at Reiner.
Yeah.
That's in Core Themes and Changing Context in Attack on Titan. I talk about that line. What a genius. Anyway.
You do indeed.
Don't co-sign the genius part. What do we want to talk about with the flashback? Ice cream, cute. I feel like the Mikasa panel, which coincidentally I think is going to be Mr. O's thumbnail for his video, I feel like it was a little overdone in the anime. I feel like it was a little too much. Does anybody?
There was one bit actually.
Go ahead.
That conversation they had, there were a couple of really weird quick cuts in that. I can't remember exactly which bits it is. I'll probably have it up on screen right now, where I felt like it suddenly would just like have this sort of wide shot. It would cut quickly to Eren and then immediately cut back to the wide shot for no real reason. I didn't quite get it. It didn't flow as naturally.
I'm not remembering this, so
it's a really minor thing. It just sort of stuck in my head as that was a bit weird.
I really like how the suits are colored in the manga, by the way. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they look so good. I'm just like, man, I've warmed up so much to Connie's design. I thought he looked so like goofy. I didn't like his haircut, but man, they made him some. So
you liked all the different color suits in the anime?
No, I was talking about the manga, by the way. I was talking about the manga.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, you said the manga because I was wondering. Now I was like, Kyle likes his sort of his monochrome suits that the Azumabito had in that chapter. So I wonder what he's going to think of. Like they do have, looking at the manga now, they do have different tone colored suits.
It's so cool. Look at it.
I wasn't a huge fan of them all being different colors. I kind of all wanted them to just be grays and blues.
It did reflect
grays and sort of navy blues. The episode. No, they look so good. You guys are. I can't believe you guys.
Mikasa's dress being white. Mikasa's dress being white though.
And Eren really was all in black. It was cute.
Yeah.
That
was really
but then Levi having the nice like blue looking suave ass. Ooh,
I'm gonna be honest, Bacon. I don't remember what Connie's suit was.
I just remember Connie looking great. I was like, I'll marry that man. Oh,
I fucking like. There were a few things like I really liked the ice cream scene. I wish that it actually animated Mikasa actually taking a bite rather than just the panel of her smiling and blushing at it. Just because I wanted to see more of Mikasa with the ice cream. Like that's a scene that I wanted. Like the fucking clown. I don't know who they got to voice him.
The clown is
they
creepy.
Got to voice him.
Yeah, because remember when this chapter first came out, we thought it was a Joker reference why the clown was in it.
Yeah.
I just remember that little detail. By the way, who takes a bite out of ice cream, Mr. R? That's a little weird. You lick the ice cream,
not a bite
right?
then, a lick. You know, a lick then.
I was just saying.
You forced me to say lick on stream.
That's gonna hurt your teeth.
No, in anime they definitely take a bite. Yeah.
Wait, can I remember Gabby taking a bite out of ice cream in season 4?
But that's because Sasha has no idea what she's on about, what she's doing.
Yeah. The carrot gag, I like the carrot gag. They're feeding the card carrots.
That was so good. Oh, it was a bit of levity. I really just
that was nice. Like the whole sort of a lot of the Marley flashback, there was that nice little bit of levity to camp, considering what the sort of to bookend. It's not really even bookending the sort of prelude to the horror that's going to happen.
Yeah, I completely forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like is when Ramses was getting bullied by, like, it felt. I'm not sure if it's like this in the manga, but it felt very
over dramatic,
artificial. Yeah, where you got all these guys around who's like, we need to kill his family. Yeah, let's kill his family. And then you're just like, oh, okay, calm down. And then they have like the most like weird like.
Obviously the juxtaposition is supposed to be like they're all having fun, and then immediately it can turn on a dime to be like, oh, humanity can have fun, but they're also pricks sometimes, and they want to beat up the little kid, and that kind of works. But yes, it definitely felt.
Yeah, for a man that likes subtlety, I don't think it was incredibly subtle.
Bacon, like we beat up people who like
and
subtlety
everybody's evil. Everybody hates the immigrant. It's like. All right, it's like, oh wow, and then like they come up with this plan. I'm just like, okay, sure. I mean, they didn't buy it, so it was fine. But like, it's very weird.
I feel like the way they frame it in the manga maybe helps a little bit because it's not like, I don't know. I feel like it was like sort of close-up shots of all the people being mad, whereas it's kind of like focusing in on like the discomfort of our characters and them trying to maneuver out of it. I had forgotten that they had just run off. But that's funny. It is supposed to be sort of wacky, right? Because they just get away by running, and it's sort of like, it kind of feels like a scene from a different manga. I think that's a bit of the point.
Well, I think it's more like everybody's waiting around for this one kid to get caught stealing something, and then they're like, yeah, he's stolen something. Let's group around and finally be able to have a reason to beat up this immigrant. But like, if you're that racist, you're gonna beat up the kid no matter what. Like, I don't really care. So to me, I was like, hang on, like, I don't think there'll be that much. It didn't feel like there would be that much of fuss from that many people about this thing, and because the anime has to blow everything up to the same size screen and kind of have smaller panels. It's just more obvious. Yeah. So then the small little details like this bug me more. It's not really that big of a detail.
Yes.
But a detail I did like is that they showed all of them like breathing really heavily because they're not used to the suits and they're like pulling on their collars and stuff like this.
No, I didn't.
I'm like, that's really smart, small gestures and stuff like that when they're like tired. So
just a little bit of,
because it's like, you think these guys are all like super in shape, big soldiers, but it's like they're also wearing, uncomfortable sort of formal suits that probably don't allow them any kind of real maneuverability, so they're probably sweating like fuck.
A little bit of context is quick. This is like a 3-second point. Is that they do all mention that they all like the owners of the what do you call it? Owner of a market, owner of a stall at a market. So I guess they are particularly perturbed by thieves. That's a little bit of context, but I think we've moved past this by now.
I don't think all of them. There's some of them, I'm sure. I guess maybe they've all been pickpocketed in the past, but whatever. I don't know. I feel like, yeah. Either way, I did quite like that. They were also like, "Oh, guys, we need to be quiet. That we're not devils," and then they like, kept on like showing it and whatever.
Yeah, that was cute.
Like no one assumed that they were devils, so there's no tension there. But it's just a funny gag. And then the next scene, I completely forgot.
I had completely forgotten this fucking Kiyomi scene as well. I'd completely forgotten it.
I'm just going to say something real quick, just to go back on this. Just a little sort of direction thing that they did that I kind of appreciated was that they actually went out of their way to make Ramsey like, in the manga, he's drawn to look basically as white as all the other characters, but the anime was like, no.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, I presumed like.
I mean, I assumed that he was. I assumed that would be the case anyway, just like because he's clearly just drawn to be from like another country, like a sort of an immigrant or a refugee.
It's a Turkish outfit design as far as I know. So so I had like Turkish in mind. I feel like he was darker than what most Turks I know, because some Turks can be quite white, but it may be a thing that you have quite a range of. A melatonin.
It was just an interesting thing for them to actually diversify the characters a bit, because in the manga they are all drawn to basically look the same. They are drawn to effectively look the same. If it wasn't for his outfit, you'd have no idea, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is no difference in skin tone between him and even Kiyomi here, or Eren or anything. So the Kiyomi scene, it's just sort of them saying they're going to the conference thing. I don't know if anybody has anything to say about that.
Nah, not really.
Then we get the
the panning there's quite cool. It's like all close up talking, then it goes wide shot. It's like, where's Eren? And then all I could think about is like, we're back to old Mikasa saying Eren like 15 times a minute.
In the anime, she looks behind her as well, doesn't she? It's not just like
the room is set up differently.
Back shot.
The now this scene,
they're on like a mountain overlooking the camp as well. Not flat.
That was a little different. The this scene I remember a lot because I made 2 videos on it. But I feel like the tear is handled better in the manga. Maybe it's not, I guess, over dramatic if we're saying it again. There was like
this is like the most Kyle opinion I've ever heard. Oh, the tears were there in the manga. It's exactly the same, Kyle. Shut up.
There is only.
It wasn't even a dual stream this time.
I was about to say that, Mizra. You took my fucking. I was gonna come in with the big. It was only one stream, and I still don't like it. But yeah, there was a different angle to the shot, and I was like, it's the Roy Mustang moment.
We need a bingo card here.
I'll bring up tears every fucking thing if I have to.
Hates the crying.
No, I feel like
every subsequent chapter and see how much.
Kyle wishes he was colorblind.
I do.
So he could live life finally happy.
Yes. So life would be like my Japanese manga. It would be perfect. But,
And then you would have to watch the anime in crappy color either. Oh, wonderful times that would be.
I had forgotten that the bloke just shows up in the middle of their talk, but he is indeed here at the bottom of the manga panel.
That's hilarious. That's actually.
Yeah, it's cute.
But like he showed to be so creepy. He's like, hey.
I feel like it's not
hey.
creepy though. I feel like it's like a gentle like, I don't know what I'm doing.
The smile is
But I'm
creepy.
here.
It's not the voice. It's just the smile. Like it's just.
I feel
it's
like
got,
the smile is
all the
endearing.
teeth, like.
Oh no, am I a creep
I didn't
bacon?
find it
Is
in
that
the
what you're
anime
saying?
at least, but like, it's a very toothy grin, and it feels very like they're trying to show that this guy is
Mr.
dodgy, but then he just gives
break
him
the
loads of
tie
alcohol.
here. Was it creepy or endearing?
I think it was a little weird.
It's endearing because it's
Oh.
odd,
Anime,
but I
I
don't think
think.
it's creepy.
I wouldn't go as far as say creepy. It was definitely a bit odd. I was kind of like, eh? But all the following scenes.
So you're
was, like,
fence
making
sitting
it
is
kind
what
of
you're saying.
endearing.
You
I'm
refuse to
fence-sitting
choose
is
a
what it
side.
is.
Now this is
I
the
don't
problem
really
with
have a-
society. Oh.
The do we want to talk about the implications of this scene? I feel like we've all said it a million times. I don't know. I feel like I was thinking about something while watching the episode, a big thing about Eren and Mikasa, but I've forgotten it completely.
Also, both of them are
Also-
big cowards. You know,
I
you
was
don't
gonna
have to
say-
ask Kyle. You just have to be. No, sorry, Eren just has to be like, "Oh, do you love me?" Not, "What do you think of me?"
Yeah,
And
it's
then
vague
Mikasa
enough
just
for her
has
to
be like,
wiggle out of
I
it,
love
it's true.
too. Yeah.
But I feel like that's
Also,
kind
no,
of
this
the
is-
point
this
that
is-
Mikasa regrets cowarding out here, obviously.
Both of them are cowards.
So I wonder if this is an edit. Something I noticed. Noticing from the manga just now is that Mikasa and Eren stand in the opposite way around, and I only say that because I had to fucking flip the image of Mikasa to make
for
it
your
fit
thumbnail.
the thumbnail
Ooh.
properly.
I see.
And I wonder
yeah.
if that's because of the Japanese sort of reading right
Left
to
to
left,
right, yeah.
and it makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
And it makes sense for the speaker, the opening speaker, to be on the right, and then the reactor to be on the left. Whilst in traditional animation,
Yeah,
that
okay.
doesn't
That's
apply
cute.
as much.
I
I don't know.
You might
Oh,
be right.
interesting.
But yeah, like it would have been nicer to have Mikasa on the left like this as the sort of the reactor. I think the manga shot of her looking embarrassed is better than the anime shot. Man, I'm turning into fucking Kyle here. I'm really sort of pro.
I'm
manga
loving
in
it.
this-
There's
in this episode.
fuck, I completely forgot what I was going to say. Hold on. There's something to be said is how I was going to open the line. About how, like, anime has a thing, fellas. I don't know if you've realized this. Anime and manga has a thing with these asexual protagonists. Luffy, Goku. They don't really show anything. They kind of don't know what love is. You say love, Goku thinks. You say marriage, Goku thinks it's something to eat, so he agrees to marry Chi-Chi. It's a whole fucking deal. Eren has always kind of been that way, like traditionally in Attack on Titan with Mikasa, where he seems so oblivious. I think oblivious is better than asexual as a descriptor for these things.
If I was to describe asexual, my first thought would be Levi more than Eren.
But you see, he's fucking Irwin. If Twitter is to be believed.
I don't subscribe.
I don't
I
either,
think
but
Levi
yeah.
is like is our asexual representation. And
Well,
possibly
wasn't he
Hanji
married,
as well.
getting engaged to Petra or something?
I mean that was sort of
That's
hinted
such a
more
weird
at in
line.
the-
That's always been so weird to me. It feels like
Yeah,
he's
that's
like so.
hinted at more in
She's
the
so
anime, I
clearly
think.
like she's like scared of him, and not scared of him, but like she like wants to clean good
'Cause
so she doesn't get
I
yelled
feel-
at. But yeah, it's like a weird, very
I feel
weird
like
power
in the
dynamic.
manga.
That
I feel like I
line
can't
might
remember where I
not be
read
in
it, but I
there.
feel like it may have been the manga. It may have been some like external resource where it was more like Petra and Ulo were meant to be a couple, or potentially a couple. Like they always get told that they act like an old married couple.
Maybe. It's
don't
been
know.
so long since I've actually read that stuff, and like my anime seeing would have been through like reactions and shit. So
This
I
is
don't
why
know.
If
you've
only
got
there's-
to
if
tune
only
into
there
the
was,
great
like-
anime reread.
Yeah, if only there was
Yeah.
a great planned reread of the series where we can discuss that.
Yeah,
I don't
you get so many
understand.
views,
I'm not
but
picking up
everyone
what you're putting
knows.
down here. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, Levi is asexual. That is canon. I will accept no other option.
The obliviousness here and how it factors into Eren just sort of bringing it up and having no tact here. I was going to defend Mikasa, I think, is where I was going with this, because Bacon was insinuating that they are both equally cowards. Eren's being a bit bit of an oblivious idiot here is where I was going with that.
Bear in mind, Mikasa tried to make the move way back in chapter 49 or whatever.
50.
Oh,
It was
true.
50 exactly,
When
isn't it?
50.
That
Right,
was a
when they
YOLO
thought
thing,
that-
right? Though she was just like, "Oh, I'm dying. I need to kill."
Her ribs
this
got
boy."
crushed, all right? She was a dead, but
Yeah, she was. And,
But even
yeah,
that's like an oblivious
Hannah's just
moment where
been-
Eren like stands up. I remember saying this I think in the
Yeah, no, it was
Jägermeister
hilarious
Plan
for that.
video, or it was something where I think I was talking up the Historia thing where Eren was going to be with Historia, and I was saying the only like time Eren and Mikasa ever had a romantic moment was the moment where he didn't kiss her, and that was sort of my way of framing it and being edgy. That was cute. Remember old Kyle Entertainment? He used to say some wacky
Do
things.
you remember though? Like, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows this meme by this point. Apparently, they were originally going to kiss, and then Isayama chickened
yeah, I
out
think I've read
because
that
he was
too,
worried
yeah.
that he wouldn't be able to he wouldn't be able to depict their relationship very well. Like he basically he felt his own inability as a writer meant that he wouldn't be able to follow on through what would happen if they
I
did
do
start a
remember
relationship.
this meme.
But then wouldn't
like-
the whole entire ending be completely screwed? if they
Everything would
just-
change.
Well, yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
would change if that happened.
Believe it or
But-
not, he
but,
didn't have
like,
everything
even-
planned out.
Yeah, but I find this quite funny how like the amount of imposter syndrome like these really successful writers have.
To
Like,
be fair, Attack on Titan is his first manga.
I don't
And
don't
he
think
got
this is
rejected a lot.
I don't think this is a thing. I feel like even when I'm like writing these scripts, I feel like it all ends up coming together by the end. I feel like I don't think there's a single writer that's ever planned everything out. I don't believe it.
No, it's not too much to do with the planning. It's more just he feels like it's an imposter syndrome more than anything else.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
he
he
feels like
doesn't
he
feel
isn't-
like
okay.
he's
I
not
think I get what you
competent
mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he feels like he isn't good enough to finish his own story, or he isn't good enough to carry
Yeah.
certain plot threads
Yeah.
through.
That's,
like I feel like in terms of what he had planned, I think the only thing he probably had planned from the start was that Mikasa would kill Eren. I think that's the only thing he
Really?
knew would happen at the end. I feel like that "see you later, Eren" has to imply that. That to me anyway, that suggests that no matter what else happens, Mikasa kills Eren.
maybe. I haven't really thought about that at all.
because
but yeah.
I've seen other mangaka on Twitter as well with like this. Like for example, Yukimura, he's just like, "Oh, I don't think my art's that good," and you're like, "Bro."
A lot of it is
your
being
art's not
humble, and I
good."
feel like that's part of Japanese culture a little bit to like be humble
Yeah,
in
that's
that way.
true. It's funny though. You can tell when he's finished doing a chapter because it hasn't released yet, like the new chapter. But he's tweeting a lot. And
Yeah.
he maybe just be like, "Oh, this is so good," or whatever. Like, it's quite funny. But yeah, some of it is like a humility thing, the fake humility. I feel like it's a British certified classic, fake humility. Gotta love that.
I have just got the first battery warning. We got about 10 minutes left here.
All right, let's talk about them getting drunk. Woo! Let's
Oh,
were
I
bits
just
of
wanted to
that I
say really
liked. There
quickly,
was
really
some-
quickly, just about the mangaka thing, because we're moving on from this. It's funny because the Black Lagoon mangaka is always talking shit on Twitter, and it's really funny. He does not have
Oh,
the
is
fake
he?
humility thing. Ray Hero, yeah, he's
Nice.
like, I remember him. Did he shit talk the Joker or say it was good? There was like, he made a tweet about the Joker, and either he was shit, he was like, it's better than all this other cape shit or whatever. He didn't actually say cape shit, but it was
Yeah.
something to that effect, or he was shitting on the Joker. I can't remember what it was, but it's just kind of cute that he's like talking shit on Twitter all the time and retweeting like titty art of his characters. It's funny.
I think to be fair, when you make Revy's design, that's what you're thinking of, right? So,
I mean, the manga. If you see any manga stuff, and again, I haven't read the Black Lagoon manga, it seems like the fan service goes out of the world. I feel like the anime must have toned it down a whole lot. Like every promotional image I see
Oh,
of
really?
Balalaika
I
or
watched
Roberta
Black Lagoon.
is always them in no clothing. Especially like Balalaika, who's
I was
really
like-
not sexualized that much at all in the entire series. Roberta has a
Remember
very
those-
explicit nilly sex scene. So can't
I
say
was
the
in
same about it.
HMV and they had the Black Lagoon anime, the entirety on Blu-ray for like 50 quid, and I was really tempted to pick it up because you've raved about it so much, Kyle.
Yes, I'm curious.
it is. I mean, this is probably just me after listening to the OST, but it is a good time, like for sure. And the dub, I mean, I'm not sure if like give it like a few episodes. Some of it does sound a little, like 2000s anime dub, where it's a bit janky.
At the beginning,
but
it
there's
does
like
a bit.
like, but what is like anything's just a matter of time before you get used to it, and when you get used to it, then it like really clicks, and you're like,
The Revy
holy
performance
crap,
is like
Revy's
really
voice
good.
actress is so.
It's funny that she doesn't do anything
else.
else in anime. She did like My Little Pony and a few other like Western cartoon things. It's interesting because the anime voices, right? You hear them all the time. That's like a big meme. I used to say that a lot, even though I didn't watch much anime and I was completely talking over my ass. But it's interesting where it's like a wholly unique voice. Like Rock in the dub is Light Yagami from Death Note.
Yes,
And there's other ones like that.
I was
Anyway,
looking
we got
that
10
guy
minutes
up,
left and
I
we're
was
talking
like,
about Black
what happened
Lagoon. Go ahead, Bacon, finish it up, wrap it up.
Okay, cut.
Yeah. Let's. I'll do what I did again because it was a funny bit, right? Let's see them get drunk. Woo!
Yes. I didn't notice, but they did make it a little bit more obvious in the anime. They were all drinking out of like tins and broken cups. I never noticed that until the thingy.
I hadn't really spotted that either.
Yeah, this is like their. I remember talking about this being their coming of age moment, where in coming of age movies, there's always a moment where they get drunk and get laid and do drugs for the first time. We've only really got the drinking here. But this is really the first time, and it's split up because Levi and Hanji don't really partake. It's more the younger generation here. It's really cute. They did put Mika's hand on Eren's shoulder, which was cute, which isn't in the manga. But go ahead, Mr. R.
So I was going to say one thing.
Oh no, it is. Look, it's right there.
Sorry, a couple of things.
Go ahead.
In the anime, for some reason, it's a clear liquid, whilst in the manga, it's very clearly wine they're drinking. Like, it looks like they're drinking some kind of spirit.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. I was like, to be fair, that makes more sense to me. I don't know why, but I was like, yeah, give them like some really hard stuff.
Yeah, there's the shot of like Jean and Connie going off, running out, and then like just
coming back.
Static images of the crowd forming was a bit weird.
I liked it. I liked the low frame rate. I like that's how I describe those shots. But
now here's something as well. Something I was wondering what they were going to show. So if you scroll down to the shot where they're all passed out.
Sasha vomiting.
Are
we talking
Sasha vomiting? That shot was great in the anime. But there was always something that confused me. Who is that with his back on Connie? Because he's wearing a suit, but it's not any of the characters.
I feel like somebody's pointed this out to me before, but I have no idea.
Probably me, because it still annoys me to this day. I have no idea who the fuck this is meant to be.
I assume that
maybe. Oh no, maybe it's someone he was drinking with because they changed costumes, so he's got their hat and maybe.
Holy shit! He might be right. Though
no,
Connie still has the jacket on.
He's still got a suit jacket on.
He's still got a suit jacket on. Yeah.
I don't know. They could have. Some of them might work in the town or something and have the suit.
I don't know. It was just one of those It was just one of those things. But yeah, the shot.
Oh, look at this fella here in the long shot. Who is this fella? He looks like he's kind of. No, it might be a girl actually with a scarf on.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lady in the anime.
Yeah.
The fact that they all just get to be sort of, get to be kids, get to experience that.
Grin's not in this. It's only an anime only. Hold up,
Sorry.
The creepiest grin that I was talking about is hang on, let me find it. I'm gonna get a screenshot and put it in the Discord because this I need you guys to see the truth. The light. Hold up. Keep on talking while I find it.
It is good watching them sort of throw back and just get absolutely fucking hammered. It's
very cute, yes.
It's a cute, it's one of those moments that I was really looking forward to seeing animated. And I think for the most part they did it justice.
Yes, I think all of the fun stuff in the episode was done very well. Just quickly, in case we run out of battery time, then we do get the scene at the conference, which is cute. It's like a world building thing that there are at least some humanitarian aid things that want to help Eldians. They just hate the island people.
Well, no, they want to help subjects of Ymir. They
subjects
still
of Ymir,
hate Eldians.
Yes. I forgot
or
the distinction.
Or they use Eldians as their scapegoat, I guess, in order to...
I feel like it fleshes the world out a little bit, that at least somebody outside of the fucking island, or at least... Well, not outside the island. The island's irrelevant because it is subjects of Ymir, not the... But somebody cares a little bit, and they're not all just like these evil, like, spit on them as they walk through the streets thing. even if they come to the wrong conclusion. This shot of Eren leaving is instilled in my brain. It was shot again differently on a different angle, I know, in the anime. I don't know if it was as effective. They did pause on it, which was good. This shot of sexy Eren coming out of the Titan, I remember this shot very clearly because I used it in a video. He looks very sexy here.
And they replaced it in the anime. They
yeah, I was
replaced it
gonna
with
say.
Mikasa.
Yeah, because it was they reused that shot, yes, I remember. And then we cut back to stuff that we've already seen because it's 123. So yeah, that's
again they use the shot, they use like the wide shot of Sasha being shot rather than just her dead as well. But again, for static panels, it probably makes more sense to use the dead panel.
Yeah, it's more of a face shot of like, oh, Sasha's dead, sad times. Bacon, you found this goddamn image yet? We're vamping for you.
Yeah. I put it in.
I didn't get a ping.
In Discord.
Oh god, yeah. You don't get a ping because you got streamer mode on.
Well, how about yeah, this is an endearing smile. This isn't creepy. Bacon, you're delusional.
They've done.
You're delusional.
No, but they've had all the individual teeth drawn, and that's like.
Oh yeah, so you hate detail, do you?
Yeah. They got the gums in there too. I feel like that's like, oh, we're trying to be creepy.
Look at how happy he is. Look at his closed eyes.
That's what Jujutsu Kaisen does for all of its demons. And he goes, hey, as he does it. So
I think this is propaganda produced by the Bacon Factory. I do not like it. He's not creepy, he's nice. And that's my final comment on the matter.
Right, so I guess before we wrap up, do we want to talk about part 3?
Yes, I do only have 10%.
Is there much to say about part 3?
We don't really need to do...
we've covered the chapter.
Yeah, we don't need to do wrap-up thoughts. I feel like it's good. We all like it. There were some weird things. In terms of part 3, how many episodes do we get? I don't know. I guess there's 9 chapters left. Are we doing 8? Are we doing 10? Are we doing 12? Are we going to stretch some things out?
Imagine if they got the budget for 12 but just only did 9.
Yeah.
Imagine if they did get the budget for 12 but then just did 9 episodes. How fucking good would those 9 be?
I mean, it's probably coming out in January, right? That's what we presume.
Well, they said winter. What did they say? Winter 2023, which means any time between December of 2022 and February of 2023.
I didn't think they specified, did they?
Yeah, I feel like somebody said that in the Discord. I think I might have said what.
I think most people say it's 22, but like it's safe to assume because these parts always come out on the.
Yeah, it's usually like February. It starts,
and
right?
Those poor Mappa animators. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Good grief.
I mean, they've got less episodes to animate, but they've got a lot to animate within those episodes. Like.
Yeah, no, it's like they got a lot of fighting, a lot of things to animate. Lots of CG will have to be used, and hopefully they'll have enough time to clean it up.
Yeah, because I mean, even thinking of panels where like all the fucking Warhammer Titans are shooting arrows at Falco and stuff. That's a lot of Warhammer Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably have like a base model that they can make alterations to. Because the nice thing is the Warhammer Titans all look quite similar. Okay, yeah, you're right. Officially announced for 2023. So yeah, my guess will be January or February of 2023. But...
I hope it's the latest possible in 2023. Honestly, yeah. I want as much time as possible given to the animators.
Yeah,
I know they probably won't get it. No, that's always my opinion. That's like I'm always like give them a creative as much time as possible to make it good because they probably will make it good.
I think they will have had a decent amount of time to work on it because they'll have had about the same amount of time to work on it as they had to work on part 2, possibly even more. I don't know.
Depends.
So hopefully,
if the studio is split up, and because they're still gonna have shit coming out constantly, right? Like Chainsaw Man is between then. And...
yeah, they're making a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Vinland Saga.
Fuck me. What a time to be alive it is for young Mappa. I am getting near the critical mass, so we should probably do an outro. Does anybody have anything last to say before I send them home happy?
No.
We have some cool stuff in the works.
This will not be the last you hear of. Well, it might be the last you hear of these 3, but we will be doing. We've been hinting at some things. I'm pretty sure if you haven't caught on yet, you're a bit of a dummy. But there'll be some thing. We'll be talking about Attack on Titan
offense.
here on the dummy. We'll be talking about Attack on Titan a little bit on various channels. But you'll see more details on that to come. And if you want more bacon, well, you better get into Berserk, is all I'm going to say about that. we're going to try and
Or
get...
just subscribe to me, I guess. I
Yes,
release 2
everybody's
videos
links are in the
match it
description.
every
You like Vinland Saga? Ever heard of Vinland Saga? You like Yamiya? Head over
Whoa,
to Bacon's channel.
my personality. Yay!
I still haven't seen that video,
Hang
by
on.
the way.
Oh, it's so good, Carl. You're missing out.
I will watch it. We nearly did it on stream yesterday. I got a critical alert. So check out Bacon's channel. Check out Mr. R's channel. They'll all be linked in the description. We're not linking Ari. He abandoned us. He will be back though soon with our future teased projects here. And he probably will be in the description anyway because I'm such a generous young man. An edited, better, cleaned up version of this very video will be on Mr. R's channel, though if you're this far in, I don't know if you're going to want to watch it all again. So we probably should shield it at the beginning of the screen. Yeah, head on over there. Like it anyway.
And
Leave it on its
my new channel for anime.
Yes.
As well.
Oh, I'll have to change the link, or I can link them both. I'll figure that out later. With that being said, everybody, it's time to leave. Support links for everybody in the description below. Thanks.